Laundromat Project is a community-based public art nonprofit. We basically present art programming through laundromats throughout the greater New York area.
Laundromats are a kind of de facto community forum. I realized that, in fact, laundromats were a place that not only the average person across class, across race, across gender, generation, all had to travel through, but that they had downtime. It just was a fallow space to actually invite people to not only look at this sort of interesting art that might be in the space, but to then reconsider their own neighborhood because they were discovering art in an unexpected place.
The site is an excuse for gathering. It is one of the most populated public spaces where there is a captive audience and definitely untapped curiosity that we respond to through these programs. In our residency program, we invite 3 artists every year for a 6-month term to occupy their own laundromat in their neighborhood as a way and invitation to have them engage their neighbors and their neighborhood around their practice.
The project that I'm going to do is creating a community jukebox and sound exchange through a sculpture made of boomboxes to facilitate the exchange of music and sound and those ideas. We're going to get people to submit things that they want to hear or they think are significant to listen to.
Few artists have actually had formal training in how to create a public art practice, how to actually apply all of that talent, all of that skill to a larger public sphere. And what does that look like? What can that look like? And so the Create Change program is a practice space for them to conceive of an idea that would be specific to their own neighborhoods and to do it in a way where they have access to a whole network of peers that are also trying to do the same thing, to allow artists to go beyond a kind of studio model that's very independent, that can have a lot of solitude, to a much more dynamic, collaborative, conversational, explorative, experimental way of making art. Works in Progress is our arts education program. We do a series of drop-in art making workshops at a laundromat in Harlem called the Laundry Room. And every Sunday from May through October, we have a teaching artist who can offer drop-in art making workshops to a broad range of neighbors.
I think the response to the workshops are awesome because it allows the young kids in the neighborhood to have something else to do. They get to be creative. They get to show the artistic side. Some of them don't even know they have the artistic side.
This year, we have one workshop that's a t-shirt design workshop, while other workshops are solar printing, site-specific sidewalk drawing. We have calligraph printing and bookmaking.
There's also a social justice aspect to this because it's not like we're just going to any laundromat. That there's a real particular commitment and concern for communities that would not otherwise have access to these kinds of experiences.
The benefits are the people in the community are exposed to the art world. It's just a good cultural thing that is not prevalent in this community, unfortunately.
You see a lot of these things happening and a lot of traditional things going away, like libraries, city pools, and etc. These are the things that actually built New York City in the beginning. Taking them away or not participating in them will only make them all go away. So I think it's something that I'll spread the word on.
We have participants in our programs that have taken all kinds of art classes, that are artists themselves, and who are just so excited to be able to see art happening on the sidewalk, happening in a really everyday context. We also have participants who don't have a lot of money, who maybe have never taken an art class, but because this is available and there is no barriers to participation, they're able to sit down and enjoy and just explore and learn and play. Really trying to create activities that are small enough, digestible enough to be done 30 to 60-minute little wash, but at the same time still have meaning and purpose and get someone to think slightly differently about where they are and the community that they belong to.
This is a calligraph that means New York's in my hands. Like, this is New York. Here's my hands.
Often the conversations around the table really reflect the changing neighborhood and the current gentrification that's happening in Harlem.
The organization very much is part and parcel with the same communities that we serve. So we live here, we work here, we have roots here.
It's an opportunity for us in actually all of our programs to really make a large city and large neighborhood smaller and more small town, to have people really having conversations with each other. That's really one of our key investments in being a community-based organization. We want people to talk to each other.
We are literally trying to create a model of creating something for people by the same people. We're talking about making the means for being creative, for being excellent, available to everyone.